this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And we have a field trip coming up.
I'm so excited.
But I don't know if we want to call it a field trip because it's not really for our listeners. It's just for us.
We can do like a vlog or something.
Yeah, we'll go live just for fun, just because we'll be there. But we are going to go see the Pod Meets World show, like a live show. So Pod Meets World is a podcast. And it's Danielle Fisher, Ryder Strong, and Will Friedle. And they played Topanga, Sean, and Eric on Boy Meets World. And so they're going through, and then they're going through every episode.
Yeah.
And then they have special guests. Like right now I'm on the episode where they have, his name's Blake something, but he played Sean's father, Chet, on Boy Meets World. They have him on, and he's really funny. So it's kind of cool to see, like, what everybody's doing now and how famous they were then. And I didn't even realize it because I was so young when it came out.
But if you would have saw them somewhere, you would have freaked out, though. I would have.
Mr. Feeney, when I finally saw Blue Lagoon, I was like, oh, my God, that's Mr. Feeney. But Mr. Feeney is already, like, William Daniels is so famous. Like, he was, like, the big name actor for that movie. Yeah. I had no idea because he was on Saint Nowhere or Elmo's Fire or Saint Elmo or
yes, Saint Elmo's Fire is it?
No, I don't know.
Like that.
Saint Elsewhere, I'm not sure. I forget now. But he already was like super famous, I guess, like way long ago, and now it was like the end of his career. And at the live show, Mr. Feeney will be there.
I'm so excited. I know, I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh. And I kept on meaning to email the podmeetsworldshow.com people. Like, I kept meaning to email them to tell them to make a shirt that says everything I learned about life I learned from Mr. Feeney.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that years ago online, and I've never seen it since, and I should have bought it then. But I saw it like 10 years ago.
He always had like some heartfelt message for everyone. Yeah.
So we're going to that. And along with that, who else is going to be there is, I think that the person who played Harley Kiner might be there. And then the people who played Kimmy Gibbler on Full House and Stephanie Tanner.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see them also.
Andrea Barker and Jodie Sweetin.
Yeah.
So we'll see all those people live in a few days. So
it'll be interesting too to see how podcasts go and do like live shows around like that.
Yeah.
You know, just how the setup is, how they do it.
I don't even know how they would do it. Like, I don't know if they actually record an episode.
It's like a panel, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just going to be like a panel, like if you go to Comic-Con or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But what's interesting, though, is that they said that they don't want to they were talking about it on an episode, and they said they don't want to give away any surprises. So I don't really know. I don't know what'll happen.
It'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So excited.
I'm really excited. I'm glad that you were able to get the tickets because I'm sure that, like, it's probably sold out by now.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I bought the tickets, like, a month or two ago. Mm-hmm. So, yay. I just bought 2 tickets and was like, someone's going with me.
So that's going to be...
Actually, it was going to be Max first. I was going to take my oldest because he watches Boy Meets World with me.
How funny. Oh, yeah, and he's getting older and I forget.
So he'll watch, but he doesn't like it now that it hit season 2, because we're into season 2 now, because they got older and now they're, like, kissing and they're doing... the first season was all about, like, the kids, or, you know, they were kids. They were more like kid stories. And I was trying to prep him for them being, like, adults. Yeah. Because that's how he's going to see them in real life. Because he was excited. Sure. So I wanted to, like, go through the seasons a little bit quicker. And now he's like, no, like, I'm good. And I'm like, never mind. And then he's going camping with the Boy Scouts. So I'm taking you now. Yeah. Congratulations. You're my second runner-up.
I'll take it.
So anyways, today's episode is about Aether, the fifth element.
I didn't even know we had a fifth element.
Well, it is a very real thing in the ancient world and what they believed in. But, and it could be a real thing. Scientists have yet to prove it exists, but wait until you hear what our ancestors believed it to be, and maybe that will explain as to why just because scientists can't prove it doesn't exactly mean it's not real.
That's true, yeah.
So the 4 elements that we know are the main elements are earth, wind, fire, and air. And when I say earth, wind, fire, and air, all I think about is Captain Planet. Did you ever see Captain Planet? It was a cartoon from the 90s.
No, but for some reason I was thinking of Captain Underwear or something.
No, that came out in 2000s or something. Wrong Captain. So it was but what's interesting in that show, Captain Planet had his own 5th element.
Oh.
That was heart. It wasn't Aether. But, yeah.
Is it ether or Aether?
Ether.
Ether.
Ether or ether?
Ether. Because I think I've heard of ether.
Yeah, so throughout the years, because Ether was founded so, like Egyptian, Romans,
plentiful? Was it plentiful?
What does that mean?
There's a lot of it? It was
Well, no, it was thought of and everything so long ago that as language and translations and everything.
Oh, the concept of it.
It changed spellings. So with it changing spellings, it changed the way you say it. So sometimes it's ether or ether ether. Or there's different ways. So when you were ether, and I was yeah, that could be it too. Because it's I say ether.
It's all the same.
But it's the same thing.
Okay.
Everything is the same. But, and I actually get into that as well.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, about the spelling and everything. But, so the Captain Planet, because we always sing on our shows.
Oh, gosh. I don't know this song. I can't sing it.
No. You guys will totally remember the song. It's Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to 0.
Ooh, okay.
And
Recycle, reuse, and respect the earth.
Reduce. That's not correct. You did not watch Captain Planet, I can tell.
I never did.
The 90s was all about recycling. It was recycle, reuse, reduce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways. So The Fifth Element, I tried to watch the Fifth Element movie, and it was so fucking boring. I couldn't get past the first 20 minutes. I know that everyone's supposed to love it and whatever, but in that movie, The Fifth Element was an alien.
Was it Bruce Willis in the film?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's sci-fi.
It was in a distant the year 2350 or something. It was in a year far away from now type thing. And Aether came down, but she wasn't even called that. I don't know what they called her because I didn't get that far ahead in the movie because I fell asleep. But it was she's supposed to be the fifth element.
Oh.
And
I do remember that.
She had the red
was
hair.
In a padded room.
I didn't get that far either.
Yeah, they had her in some kind of padded room, and she was
so I tried to watch
writhing around.
Yeah,
in, this weird tape.
Yeah, that's what she wore. It was
tape.
white. It was a white tape thing all around her, almost like a bondage suit.
Yeah,
it was really weird. So I tried to watch it for context just to see if I could
if it had anything to do with this.
And I don't believe it does. Maybe the concept that that the fifth element brings all the other elements, holds them together in the time space continuum type thing. But other than that, there's it's not the same.
Okay.
The fifth, yeah. So, anyways, earth, wind, fire, and air are the basic elements that make up everything on Earth. And according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it was formerly believed to compose the physical universe. So the fifth element is Aether, and it used to be an extremely well-known element, but slowly faded away and is not referred to anymore. Modern physics explained away Aether by being able to provide explanations for natural phenomena that would otherwise be explained by the presence of Aether. And this was done through the theory of relativity and quantum mechanics. So anything that was that they couldn't explain, that was just a natural phenomenon, the Marphalites or, anything like that.
Yeah.
They would just say, oh, that's the fifth element, that's from Aether. So there's a lot of things that then got explained to where, okay, Aether's not real.
Well, they just put it in that category.
Yeah,
they didn't know, kind of like unexplainable. It's got to be part of that element.
Yes, if it's not earth, wind, air, fire, then it must be due to Aether.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, so it could also be like with the UFOs, like it could be some kind of like plasma or something in the Aether or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we'll get into what exactly they believed Aether was. It's not plasma. It's like air.
Oh,
it's not seeable. Like, you can't see it.
Oh, okay.
If it is real.
Okay.
So also it's been spelled a variety of ways throughout history. The most common spelling that I found was Aether. Now it is commonly spelled without the A, so it'd be ether or ether, like you said.
Okay.
In fact, several words had the AE symbol, the symbol, until it reached the English American Dictionary, where we just didn't have that AE symbol. So for a while, the AE was used in lieu of that AE symbol. Then slowly American English just dropped the A altogether. Okay. So like medieval is one example. It used to have an A before the second E, between the I and the E.
Okay, yeah.
And then, but then the word archaeology kept that AE.
Yeah, it does. Archaeology, yeah.
So it would have taken out the A that's a lot of words were like that, and they just took out the A. If it had, I don't know why they kept it, but anyways, so when Elon Musk named his kids like Eon or whatever it was, Eon, Ion, whatever, remember how he wanted to do that? Yeah. And he couldn't because you have to have it in the 26 letters.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow him.
They wouldn't allow him, and we thought that he was crazy. We're like, what the fuck? But in Latin, that is a very common symbol. It's not just like the at symbol or something. You know what I mean? It's like a common symbol that was dropped when Latin was dropped and it was English.
But thinking about him and just not even him, but just people in general, like, how is it possible that other entities, government or people or whomever, say you're not allowed to name your child something that you want to name them? That's just weird in itself.
There's a whole list of things that you are not allowed to name your children. Like, there's actually, like, banned lists.
I mean, I understand certain things might be, like, what's the word? Offensive to the child as they grow up.
There was one little girl named Aryan Nation. Aryan was her first name and Nation was her middle name.
Yeah, that would be extremely offensive.
And then her brother was Hitler, Adolf Hitler.
Oh, they just reused the name?
Yeah, they just, like, used that Adolf Hitler. Like, the middle name was Hitler and
Yeah. I mean, if it didn't have that association, whatever, it's just a name.
Yeah.
But now it has that association, so I can see that. But his is literally a symbol. It's nothing negative.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that, but just a side thought.
In one country, and I want to say it's China or Korea, they have a list of names that's all you can use. Is this, like, you have to pick from these, like, 500 pre-approved names.
It's so weird to me.
So, like, how we have, like, Harmony is, like, a growing name, but, like, or Spring or Easter, whatever the fuck people are naming their kids. Jenga Block, I don't fucking know. Yeah. It wouldn't have been approved. You'd have to name your kids Sally or Mark or Susan or John. I'm just coming up with names. These are the names that pop in my head.
I know. It's just very, very generalized names that are,
Yeah. So, according to Greek mythology, Aether was the substance that allowed the movement between the celestial bodies and was the space between the heavens and celestial spheres. This would explain the mysteries of the universe through metaphysics and mysticism. Aether is the substance that holds the spiritual and cosmic realms together and provides the bridge from this plane to the spiritual plane. Okay. So, like, scientists can't, like, find that. So whether it's real or not, like, we don't know yet, I guess.
But it does make sense that there would have to be some kind of bridge or some kind of connection between the physical realm and the afterlife or whatever you believe in. Like,
well, some people believe that you just die. that you just dud. Like, that's it. You die and that's it. And I believe that's agnostic, that don't believe in anything. They just, like, you just die. Your spirit, your soul doesn't go up. Your spirit doesn't go anywhere. Nothing happens.
Yeah, that just seems a little too bleak.
Brad said that that's what Zane's mom believes in. And I was like, well, then why, like, yeah, it just seems like if you don't, like, why live? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, not that living, even if your soul goes somewhere else, I don't know. It seems so sad. You have to believe in something. You're like, why?
Well, that's still believing in something. You're believing in just Nothing. The now and the present. I think that's all that is. It's like you just believe, like, this is it. You got to make the most of it. I can see that side of it. Like, this is what you got, and you got to make the most of it, and it's here in the now. And then anything else, they just can't even comprehend. So they're like, it doesn't exist.
Maybe.
That's how I see that.
Maybe they're happier living in the present.
I mean, it's a good thing to not overthink things too much and stay in the present and kind of just be, like, in the moment.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between being in the moment and just being like, oh, then I just die. Like, there's gotta be more. There's more. There's definitely more.
So, Aether represents the divine and unchanging nature of the universe. Aether is pure, clean, clear, the best. It is considered a divine essence, a substance that is only found in the furthest reaches of the cosmos, unattainable on Earth, because of the impurities of man. Gods use the fifth element as their oxygen to be immortal and have eternal life.
Oh, eternal life and immortality.
Yeah. And that's why gods, like different, like Greek mythology gods can, like, Zeus or whoever, that's the air that they breathe.
Okay, that makes sense because it's keeping them immortal.
Yes, and divine and pure. And ancient Greeks thought that there were 3 types of air, like 3 different layers. The lower layer was the icky and polluted and the hell air. That was like the air of hell. Middle layer was the air that us humans use. That's just, like, not as bad as hell, but obviously not of divine essence.
Just the mid. It's just mid-air.
Yeah, mid. It's the mids. Then there was the top tier level of air, and that was the air of gods. The air that the gods used, and this was Aether.
Oh. So can it kind of intermingle a little bit? Like, do we get a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, if you think
at night.
Okay, because you think about...
According to Greek mythology, I'll get into that, too.
Because I was thinking about our atmosphere and how we have different layers of the atmosphere. And they kind of do, obviously, just like there's different seas in the world, and the seas kind of, there's a little spot where they intermingle and mix a little bit.
Mix a bit, yeah.
So it would make sense if the God's air mixed with our mid-air a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Aether is also the medium that the planets and stars move through. How light is transmitted from the heavens to here. It is literally the space between us and heaven. It's the space between stars and planets. It's how the stars and planets rotate and move.
So it's almost
So instead of air, wind, it's instead of wind pushing it, or air, or fire moving, it's that Aether is what's moving, making the planets move.
So it's beyond... kind of like what they say, it would be on the, what's that word people use?
The great beyond?
No, like they say, as below as above, as above as below. Like it's the water is above, the water is below. So that would be like above that. Like it would be like the water's above. Yeah. But it's the air above.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sure. I don't get it, but I don't get what you're saying, but I know that little as above is below.
So it's like instead of water, it would be the air above, because that's like the holy air.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And well, not holy, but
the divine. Yeah.
The divine air. Yeah.
Aristotle and Plato both used the fifth element in their cosmological theories. Aristotle wrote a book in 350 BCE called On the Heavens, which describes and talks about all the elements, including Aether. Plato wrote about Aether in his book Timaeus, that was wrote in 300 BCE. Mm-hmm. It was also extremely common for Greeks to refer to it within science, art, literature, To them, Aether was just another element, just like air, wind, fire, and earth. So it was just, to them, they had 5 elements. So it popped up in media sources. Einstein's theory of relativity and quantum mechanics replaced many theories that had Aether at the core of them, with precise reasoning and explanations for some of the most unexplained occurrences.
So Einstein kind of debunked it?
Yeah.
Einstein. How dare you? We like this. This is fun.
I know, it's the fun stuff.
Don't take away the 5th element.
Yeah.
We want the divine air.
Yeah, it's just like before we knew what stars were, they believed the gods placed them there. Mm-hmm. They believed the gods put the sun in place and did all these things, which when you think about it now, like no matter what religion, some sort of god or deity did put the moon and the stars and the planets and everything where they are. But now they're trying to like have reasoning as to why these are here. So back in the beginning of time, anything that was unexplained was easily explained through the gods, and Aether was supposedly the offspring of Titans.
Oh, okay.
And Aether was a primordial god, which means that he was here from the beginning, like before planets, before the sun, before anything. Primordial is like before even like, well, I'm not sure if Zeus is, but I don't think Zeus is a primordial god. So he came before even that. He was here from the beginning, the start of the universe.
And who was that again?
Aether. Aether was actually a Titan.
Aether.
Yeah,
okay.
primordial god.
Oh.
Aether was the god of light and the god of sky.
Okay.
Blue Aether represented the heaven, which made me think about the blue fairy in Pinocchio. And she is supposed to be all like pure and good and maybe I'm reaching.
No, maybe that's why she was blue.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because she was like of the spiritual realm type thing. Nobody else could see her. She was just kind of there for Pinocchio. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe there's a conspiracy there. Maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I just like Disney. I don't know. I always have to bring in Disney. So.
No, but I think that it adds up. Yeah, I can see that.
So Aether's mists were throughout the air on Earth, but he had the solid dome in the sky to himself. Notice how I say dome? That's because back then the Greeks thought that we lived in a dome. So,
so that goes back to above and below. The firmament is what I was thinking of the word, which is basically the firmament, which I might be pronouncing it wrong, would be the dome.
Oh.
It's another word that is used, which is also in the Bible, I believe. Oh. And that's why some religions believe in that also.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So, air on Earth was ruled by the primordial goddess, Chaos.
There was a goddess of chaos?
Yeah.
I think she haunts me.
I know. like I
she follows me around.
I know.
And sprinkles dust on me.
Like,
she's like, "Let's go, Heather."
Let's just take a minute to think about the goddess Chaos being the air of the world, where I feel like all this shit's chaotic.
Yes.
There has to be a connection with our usage of the word chaos and the goddess Chaos.
I didn't know there was a goddess of chaos.
Yeah, well, she's primordial, so you didn't know about Aether either. So I think that these are
she's primordial.
Yeah.
Damn, she's been around forever.
So back to the god of the sky, Aether. So of the night sky, of the above sky. Mm-hmm. Okay, get this. Aether's mom was Nyx. It's Nyx, Nyx, who was the goddess of the night, who was believed to cover the dome in at night and let no light in. Think of like a bird in a cage at night. Yeah. When they cover the cage at night so the bird will go to sleep. And it was this point in which I realized I use so many fucking analogies. It is literally how I make sense of things in my head. Is that weird? Like,
I do the same thing. I think of analogies all the time.
Like, I'm always, like, making up analogies. They make perfect sense.
Well, also, it's like when you're trying to explain something to someone else, for them to understand your perspective on it, sometimes you have to use an analogy. Otherwise, they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, Hemera was Aether's sister and his wife, and she was the goddess of the day.
His sister and his wife?
Yes, and she would spread Aether's mist in the morning.
Let's not do that.
Aether had no human or animal likeness. He was just there, just an element that filled the space in between, like air. Mm-hmm. But our air, I guess, is Hemera. Mm-hmm. Okay. Aether's father seems to be undetermined. He could be Erebos or Crohn's, and his mother may have been Chaos, not even Nyx. It's kind of back and forth, yeah. Ethers had 2 offsprings that were 2 goddesses. Thalassa, goddess of the ocean, and Gaia, goddess of the earth. And we know her as Mother Earth, which is in Captain Planet.
Wait a minute, who's Mother Earth? The daughter?
Gaia, daughter of Aethers.
Mother Earth is Aether. Gaia.
Gaia, and that Gaia is in Captain Planet. Her name is Gaia, and she's Mother Earth.
Oh, wow. I gotta watch Captain... I'm gonna write down Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna reduce pollution down to 0.
Captain Planet 90s cartoon, right?
Yeah, it's a cartoon. It's great.
I'm gonna just watch it, and maybe we'll put a little clip on something.
You have to, but
I'll put this song or something.
Yeah, and Gaia gave the Planeteers in Captain Planet rings for Earth, Wind, Fire, 5 rings for all the elements, and together, when these powers are combined together, they save the world, and they like summon Captain Planet, and Captain Planet comes and saves the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
I gotta watch it. It seems like it's like kind of sci-fi, kind of like a little bit.
It's 90s kid cartoon.
I don't know.
That's how it is. Like it. Yeah, you would. So, while Aether's family had control of the land, ocean, and everything, Aethers would control everything in the night sky, planets, stars, and moons. It was believed Aethers was like the force that physically moved the objects in the sky. Like I said before. In the Middle Ages, they believed the 5th element was the force that held everything together. They also believed that 4 elements alone could not explain everything in the cosmos.
Oh, okay.
During the 18th and 19th centuries, they believed that Aether was a medium that carried light waves in space. Luminigerous Aether is the space between the empty space.
Oh, the light waves.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 5th element was never actually found by scientists, although it was not for lack of trying. In 1887 in Cleveland, Ohio, there was an experiment called the MMX experiment. And that stands for Michelson-Morley experiment. This experiment showed light was self-propagating, that there was no need for something to help move it like they thought the Aether was doing. To prove this, the MMX experiment used an interferometer, a device that extracts information from interference. They use this to measure sound waves. Apparently, sound waves use air or water to travel through, so it displaces the air or water, and they can see that happening with this interferometer. So what would light need to travel? Apparently nothing. If Aether was propelling and moving light, there would be interference in the space between. However, there was no measurable movement from any forces other than the light.
Okay, yeah.
So a quote from thoughtco.com explains it better than I can. They said, and I quote, "The speed of light would be affected by whether light was moving in the direction of the Earth's orbit or perpendicular to it. The negative results were published in the same year and followed up with experiments of increased sensitivity. The MMX experiment led to the development of the theory of special relativity, which does not rely on any ether for the propagation of electromagnetic radiation." So, lots of words.
I'm just nodding.
Yeah.
So, like, it's been studied, and it's been kind of debunked.
Down here, but we don't know about the cosmos and the space between up there.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, the MMX experiment is considered to be the most famous failed experiment.
Oh.
Because the MMX showed no effect or detection of the motion of Aether through space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But could they show that
it's not a fail. It just means it didn't
but they wanted to show it. They wanted to prove it was there, and they didn't, so they technically, in the science community, they failed their test.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a fail. It's just that's just what the data showed.
But then there's question of, could this show that we are in fact on a flat Earth?
Oh, now we're getting into flat Earth. See, that's the firmament.
I don't know.
And above and below, and then that gets into stars are not planets, are not planets, stars are not stars. Everything is like what you see from underwater, and it gets We were going to do an interview with the Flat Earther, too.
I know. We never got around to that.
We need to. This is going to have to be a follow-up.
Well, that's it with the Flat Earth. That was it. Just...
I know, but it just
everything's always connected. Like, everything in our world is connected. It just sparked me back
to, like, we were going to do an interview with a Flat Earther because you do know a Flat Earther.
I do.
So, which is totally fine. It's cool. Hey, we accept everyone.
I definitely know a Flat Earther.
And it will be fun to pick their brain.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we always notice that every religion overlaps, and like every belief, myth, or legend seems to all overlap in some way and believe in everything with similarity. The fifth element is no different. Ethers was believed by medieval alchemists, Greeks, Buddhists, Hindus, Japanese, the Tibetan, and ancient Babylonians. Just to name a couple. Chinese Wu Xing believed the fifth element was actually metal. And that was, like, the only variance in all those people believing. So he thought that it was some sort of metal.
Yeah.
Which metal can be in the air, I guess, right? Metal is sometimes in the air, like fragments of it. That's what they do with chemtrails. But I guess they didn't have chemtrails then.
But that's new. It is with chemtrails. They put barium and aluminum and other things, but... That's us doing it.
Yeah, that's not natural.
There is natural in the air with...
like around volcanoes or something, right? That's sulfur, I guess.
What about the ionized particles? Would that be metal? No.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. But like a meteor and stuff could have different iron and different things in it. I don't know if iron's in space, though.
I think iron is already an element, though.
Yeah.
It's already on the element.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that more, honestly.
So, ether is also believed to be an elastic media like air, weightless, transparent, frictionless, undetectable chemically or physically, and permeating all matter and space. Ethereal, that is used in context today, is used as a way to describe the purest and finest things, something that is almost too good for this world. Also, while the four other elements have symbols, the triangle stands for fire, the triangle with a line through it stands for air, and the upside-down triangle stands for water, and the upside-down triangle with a line through it stands for earth. The fifth element does not have an official symbol. It is most known by just a plain circle. So that's it. Just a circle, no lines, no nothing, just a little tiny circle. No matter how much science can explain away Aether, there will always be a place for it in the modern world. There's still so much we don't know about the universe that can still be explained by Aether. Aether will also always be at least be a symbolic element in philosophy, art, and literature.
Yeah.
And my references is Greek Gods and Goddesses.net page, Aether, God of Light, published June 11th, 2018, retrieved November 3rd, 2023. ThoughtCo.com article, Aether, definition in alchemy and science by Anne-Marie Helmenstein, last updated November 2nd, 2019. Britannica, Aether, retrieved November 5th, 2023. World History Encyclopedia article, Aristotle's on the Heavens by Dylan Campbell, published on October 16th, 2016, retrieved November 7th, 2023. The end. So, yeah, the fifth element, like, it's kind of fun.
It is very fun. I love, I love learning new things, and I love mystical, and I never even knew. I had heard about, I say ether, but
obviously it's different ways.
Yeah, I mean, different ways.
Even ethereal, the ethereal plane is also ether. Like, there's so many different words because of the way that our language, even just with English, has evolved over time. You know, we don't say the anymore.
Yeah, the. We say the.
My grandma used to say the.
Really? The. Well, it depends, because if you're seeing...
It's like titles of books. The cat and the hat.
No, but I was thinking of...
but she was also Scottish.
America the Beautiful.
America the Beautiful.
The Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, like so old school English did do that. Yeah. So, anyways. What? Fun story.
No, I was trying to think of that song, and I couldn't think of the song. And I was going to sing it, and I was like, I better not, because I think we already sang on this one.
We did. Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to 0.
Well, yeah.
And then it almost has the same tune as Heroes in a Half Shell.
Turtle Power.
It's Ninja Turtles, but it's not turtle power. Is it turtle power?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Heroes in the half shell. Turtle power.
Yeah. But Cody's wearing his Ninja Turtle shirt
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage
See, all of them.
Ninja Turtles.
All the cartoons back then were like
Heroes
sci-fi.
in the half shell.
Turtle power. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. We managed to sing again.
There you go.
I have to say that this was a really fun episode for me because I honestly did not know about the fifth element. And
I think people only know it from the movie.
But the movie, I've seen the movie, it's nothing like the movie.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, no, I mean just the term the fifth element is like, people just automatically think of the movie.
But it has nothing to do with the movie. It doesn't even talk about any of what you said.
Yeah, that's why I was like, other than holding it all together. But, I mean, even that's not really what Aether is supposed to be doing. I mean, it does kind of, but not fully. Like, it all just kind of works together. All needs to be worked together.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the movie. I was going, because that movie was horrible, honestly.
I know. So, I don't like it. Well, I only watched 20 minutes of it, but whatever.
I watched the whole thing, but I do remember watching it quite a while ago, and I just remember thinking it was horrible back then, so I'm sure I wouldn't like it now.
For sure. You wouldn't. Okay, well, that's our show, so don't forget to...
Yes, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
And thanks for listening, and email us at conspiraciesunlocked@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye.